From Russellville, West Virginia to Russell City, California. From Russellville, Arkansas to Russell, Mississippi. Let's ride. We want you to ride shotgun for the next hour of Talkin Truckin with Deaton and Doty. Welcome to episode 41, everybody.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
And joining us this week over the phone, we have Ray Nieto.
Hey, what's up, Ben from Texas, back at home.
We have Kevin Lewis with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Not really sure where I'm at right now. Somewhere in Tennessee.
We have Russ Deaton on the phone with us today.
I am here. I'm got a cold. I'm at home, but I'm here.
And the Jim Mackey.
Yeah, I'm here in the captain's chair.
In the captain's chair.
Shortville.
Barberton, Ohio. And on screen, as always, we have Mike Doty, Joel Howell. There you go, Florida. Joel Howell and Kumar.
Hello.
Oh God, I'm not on screen yet. I hope I blew everybody.
You will be. Yeah, you will be.
That was a hot mic.
So in no exact order, we're going to be going through a number of similar topics. As you guys know, Russ is at home. Apparently he can't stop working. He was sweating and shoveling snow all week, so he has a sore throat. So I'm filling in for him, so be patient. We are going to have the wild world of sports with Joel Howell. He's going to fill us in on what's going on with sports. We're going to have in the news. Ian's going to fill us in on what's going on with freight this week. We're going to do a market update where Mike, myself, and Russ, when he can participate, can join us. And then we're going to do Trucking with Kumar, where the drivers battle Kumar and trucking questions. And let's see here. Let's make sure that we start to plug the social media first. So make sure you don't forget to follow, like, share, or subscribe. Talkin Truckin with no G's. We've got a big guest list coming in 2022. I want to make sure I thank Kumar. I went online to find out all the places we are. It's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Audible, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Deezer. Not sure what Deezer is, but we're there.
Deezer. Some kind of podcast place.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I was impressed. So it's a number of feeds keep popping up. So make sure you like and subscribe.
We are all over the place.
You look pretty good in that chair, Jim.
Yeah, I'm having fun being a captain.
Driving the ship.
Great. That's great. So how's everybody's week going? I know you guys are digging out snow in Ohio again, aren't you?
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, we've probably gotten 25 inches in the past week and a half. It's been pretty crazy. Thankfully, I bought a snowblower, and that's been a big help.
Pretty quick return on your investment.
They were telling me about that. I was like, so you guys got to blow snow every time?
I shoveled my driveway and was in bed
gonna
for
do
3
that
days
all
later.
the time?
Yeah.
Only when it snows, Mike.
Yeah. I
We don't shovel in the
snow, so I
summer.
started- Yeah.
Yeah, I just weed eated my property again, and I grabbed the blower to put the grass back on the lawn.
there you go.
How about you guys?
I feel your
Christian?
pain, Ray. I feel your pain.
Have you guys had any snow?
Over here in Virginia?
Yeah.
We did last week. Yeah, there's little remnants of it. Usually it goes away in about 2 days and it's pretty again, but it stuck around for about a week. So we had some really cold temperatures and some high winds that kept it around on the ground. But, parking lots are dry. Roads within 24 hours were easily passable and just wet.
Well, as I said last week or the week before, we're not going to see snow, or we're not going to see the grass here probably till May. That's probably how it's going to go.
I'm not going to see my road till May.
Oh, yeah. Kumar has had one plow truck come by his house, while I, on the other hand, have about 100 a day. So.
I haven't had a single one. Go by.
Zero yet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you don't have the excuse of not coming to work then, huh?
I don't. He does.
I can make it out though. I'm good.
Well, so how many hours of shoveling were you doing, Russ? I mean, obviously you're outside, you're sweating and cold, so I imagine that's what's led up to this.
Well, I wasn't so much the shoveling. I have a snowblower, but I have a big driveway, and I do the sidewalks. But the buildings downtown, I got to go down there and shovel. I can't. My snowblower is too big to move around, so yeah, I've had to go down there and shovel a little bit. But I've been outside, and I think I got sweaty, and I was still outside, and it was really cold. And I think that's how I got a cold. But I will be fine.
Good to hear it. So, so you guys want to start getting started with the topics? Let's mix it up a little bit if you guys are good with that. Joel, are you ready to report on sports?
I am ready.
There we go. We're just gonna
Buckle
just
up.
go in a random picking order here. So let's
Ready
start
to
off.
rumble.
I'm gonna give up my chair and give it to Kumar now. I need to go driving.
Great, we're changing captains.
Okay, well,
Be safe.
jumping right into it. Well, hello, sports fans. Welcome back to the sports show that talks about trucking. I am your host, Joel Howell, and leading off Major League Baseball, we want to congratulate David Ortiz. He was the only contestant, ex-player, to make the 75% threshold. Unfortunately, I'm just the messenger. I don't know how these things work exactly. The other contestants were Barry Bonds,
Yeah, Barry Bonds got shafted.
Roger Clemens, Scott Rowland, Kirk Schilling, Todd Hilton, Bobby Wagner, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, and Alex Rodriguez did not make the cut. Unlike the NFL, not sure how that works exactly, but congratulations to Big Papi David Ortiz. Moving over to the NBA. Top dogs in the East. Currently, Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls, Brooklyn Nets, who are skidding, and the champs Milwaukee Bucks are creeping back into the lead. Out west, Phoenix Suns continue to dominate. Golden State Warriors, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Utah Jazz. Moving over to the NHL, leaders in the East, Atlantic, Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning. In the Metro, New York Rangers and Pittsburgh neck and neck. Out west in the Central is Colorado Avalanche, followed by the Vegas Knights in the Pacific. Moving over to NCAA hoops, top 10 AP this week. Michigan State at 10, 15-3. Duke Blue Devils at 9. UCLA at 8. Houston at 7. Purdue Boilermakers at 6. Kansas Jayhawks at 5. Baylor 17-2 at 4. Arizona Wildcats 16-1 at 3. Gonzaga 15-2, followed by number 1 for the first time in school history, I believe, Auburn at 18-1. Congratulations. Now, moving over to football. Did you guys, if you missed last week's
What a playoff.
division games, you're not a fan. Every single game came down to the last play. What an awesome week it was.
Great
I hope
weekend
your
for
teams won. Sorry, Bills Mafia. We'll have to do it again next year.
You lost the coin toss, Bills. You lost the coin toss.
I heard a
Tails
lot of
never-
people
never
were
fails.
disappointed about all that.
Yep, 2-2. I went on the division. The winners, congratulations, Burke. A perfect 6-0.
He should be a
Kumar, not
football
so good.
scientist.
I can't believe the Bucks came back like that only to lose to a freaking field goal.
You had. I know
The
Russ
Brady's
can.
washed.
The Rams tried to give that game away.
They
so
did.
bad.
They did. I counted. I was out. But third quarter, I was like, man, I know Brady's came back 1,000 times, but geez, I don't think
Well,
on this one.
44 years
Well,
old.
well
Yeah, we
speaking
gotta-
on that note, Christian,
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
we may as well bring it up right now that I won the bet. That
You
the
did,
Bucks
you did.
aren't going back. So
Yeah, you
Kumar,
did.
Yeah.
Kumar, can you write down that Christian has to put $50 to the St. Christopher's?
Yes.
Or,
Write
I
that
think it's-
down.
Yeah, St.
Well, I
Christopher's.
also bet
Yep, St.
Browns aren't
Christopher's.
going to win the Super Bowl.
It was
Plus
really.
his 20 that
Oh,
from
man.
a couple weeks ago when he lost. So he's up to 70 already.
I appreciate you
Oh,
keeping
man.
keeping tally for me, Russ. That's nice of you.
You know,
That was the
Joel, I
hardest
heard
game.
that this was going to be the year again. Like I hear every single year that the Browns are going to win.
Oof. Wow, I appreciate
well,
the coming
I
to
have
my
some-
defense.
Ocean front property in Nebraska. I want to show you. All right,
Well, we
moving
are
on
gonna
to
win next year.
Championship
This is our-
Sunday.
Yeah, if you get rid of Baker Mayfield.
We have.
I'm not a hater.
surprising
I like Baker.
Cincinnati
We need a new
Bengals
coach.
on the road, going to Arrowhead. They take on Kansas City Chiefs, going to their fourth straight AFC Championship game. The line on this is 3.5. No, my fault. That's the other game. The line on this is 7. I think that's a lot. If you wanted some of that action, I like Cincinnati in this game. I like their chances. We got
Are
a
they playing
25%
at
chance.
Arrowhead again?
Playing
Yeah.
at
Joel,
Arrowhead.
I
good
gotta
weather.
say, Joel, you're way wrong. After watching Mahomes last week, I don't even see how Cincinnati has a chance.
You want to double or nothing that bet, Russ?
Let's see. Thank
Oh
you.
God.
I'll go. Why, you just no line? You want to go straight?
Just
I'll take
straight.
Kansas City.
Man,
I'll
look
take
what I
Kansas
cost.
City. I'll take it
it's gonna be a
straight.
good week
Oh,
for
wow.
St. Christopher.
All right, 50 more bucks. For
Most
St.
money they've ever
Christopher.
made.
There you
So
go.
that's the first game. That's Sunday at 3:30. I believe CBS has it. The nightcap. California Dreamin'. Rams, Niners, 3 this year. Rams have won. I'm sorry. The Rams have lost 6 straight to the Niners. Niners trying to go back to the bowl. I'm predicting a Super Bowl 23 rematch. If you weren't around, that would have been the Icky Shuffle way back when before Joe Montana broke the hearts of the Cincinnati fans. But I like Cincinnati and San Francisco in Super Bowl 56.
I had the Chiefs Rams.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are: how many games was that the Rams have lost, and can I go back and change my sheet from last week?
What we got here?
Picks are locked.
We can do it.
Just kidding.
All right, so there you have it. We have a championship Sunday coming up. Rams, Niners, Bengals, Chiefs. Be there or be square.
So who's gonna win the Super Bowl, Joel?
Cincinnati's going to win the Super Bowl.
All right.
You think so? You really think that? You think Joe Burrow is that good?
I didn't say Joe Burrow. The defense.
It's a
and
team
the
game,
team.
guys. He's
Knocked out
just
in
the
the fifth
quarterback.
round.
But hey, it's just a prediction. I'm just an old truck driver. What do I know? Kumar, going to MMA. Do we have any action over in the martial arts?
Well,
He
last
doesn't
week.
remember the fight.
What? Anyways, so last week we had Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane.
He's a champion, right?
Yeah, Francis is champion. And so they fought 5 rounds, and Ngannou won unanimous decision, and he did it on an injured ACL and an MCL.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
So
so
your background's coming down there.
That's a Bills fan melting down.
yeah,
Carry
so
on.
it was a pretty good fight. I watched a little bit of it later on, not on Sunday.
But he changed his
Saturday.
fighting style from what I heard. He's just not throwing punches. He was actually grappling and keeping his distance.
Oh yeah,
right?
he's way more just patient with everything. He had a great takedown against Gane, who is a huge guy. So yeah, it was a good fight.
Do we know when the next Rough and Rowdy is yet?
I think it's
Yeah.
February 22nd in
Want to
Tennessee.
elaborate on that a little bit, Zach?
Rough
Rough and Rowdy?
Yeah.
Well, you take a bunch of hillbillies.
Put them in
So
a
this is
ring.
Put 'em in a
internet
ring.
fights. They
Put 'em in a
build this
ring.
up for months, and then they finally meet.
It's
Yeah, there's
amateur
20
fighting.
fights. Each fight is, or each round is a minute.
They wear headgear and all that.
It goes on for 2 hours.
No ref.
No headgear.
And
no
most of them are
gloves.
knockouts, right? I mean, most of them just one guy's getting beat up a lot worse than the other.
A lot of them are decision, or they just stop the fight completely.
Yeah, no.
A lot
no
of guys just
knockouts.
back out.
Yeah,
How about
there's
weight
not
class?
many knockouts.
Well,
at
there
all.
was the big. I'm not gonna say his name. That guy who was
Oh.
screaming into the camera. He knocked him
Big
out.
Booty Daddy.
Yeah, big bad booty daddy.
And then they had one fight. They had over 1,000 pounds
In the ring. Yeah.
2 guys.
Wow.
Hmm.
Check
It's
that
pretty.
ring.
It's pretty amazing.
It's a spectacle.
Now they had a talk about Francis fighting. Who is it? Tyson? Not Tyson. Yeah, it's Tyson. But not
Really?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, Tyson Fury?
Yeah, Fury. Right? They
In a
talked
bo-
about them. They talked about them boxing together, right?
Oh, I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, because there were notes about what move would he make next, and they were saying that I guess Dana didn't put the belt on him or show up at the press conference either, right?
Well, I guess you know more about this than me.
You watched it, didn't you?
Should have went to you.
It's been a rough week.
It was a foggy night for Coom.
Oh, I got you. Sounds
You
good.
got knocked out.
Yeah. Apparently Dana didn't put the belt on him, and then he didn't show up at the press conference. So I'm not sure if there's bad blood, but
Probably.
I
mean,
heard he was like missing like the whole night or something. Dana.
oh, maybe.
That was Joe
Maybe.
Rogan.
But I mean,
Joe Rogan looked like crap on Saturday night.
Did he?
He probably
Little-
didn't
he
take
looked
his
like
alpha
a
brain.
stuffed sausage in his suit. Those buttons were gonna fly off.
Joel, did Gunnar Miller win his match?
Oh,
He won. The latest one he did. I got to check out the new card though. That league down there in Tennessee, televised.
yeah. We should definitely do that on the updates as well. And I think that's really cool. He's still doing it for his kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love my boys, but I'm not sure I'm going to jump in a ring and throw around a bunch of grown men. So,
It's actually the next bet that you
He's
and Russ are
pretty
going to
good
have.
well, then I'm going to have a conversation about who's going to flop before it happens.
Who's
I gotta
wearing the
call
mask?
Tim real quick. He's at the shop, and they're telling him it's going to be a couple weeks.
All right. Supply
He's in
chain.
a lease. He's in our lease truck. Hold on. He was just going in for a oil change.
Well, cut the camera if
No.
you break anything.
Yeah, and I do like the new and mute it at least, please. I do like the new chair covering. I do see that you have your new chair covering for us to look
Oh,
at.
nice.
Oh,
That is
beautiful.
lovely.
That's it.
It's Deaton. It's the shirt.
I see it. The Deaton fleet. Nice. Well, I was going to get into Florida Man, but he's doing trucking
Florida
things.
Man is
I'll
out
be.
of here.
Well, yeah. One second. I just want to make. It's nothing.
Okay.
I just
No,
want
you're
to see
cool.
why.
Let's go ahead and start with the news then. How about that?
Absolutely. Let's
All
move
right.
the news on up to the top of the hour. Ian, are
This
you
is
ready?
going great.
Oh, God, how do I
You're
share
doing-
the screen? Okay, here we go.
You're doing great.
Alrighty, guys. Here we go. I want to talk a little bit about this. We had the big story with the cyber attack last year. I think it was last year. It's all blending
I think it was
together now.
2020.
Maybe it was 2020. With the pipeline that got shut down. Haven't heard too many things, but Bay and Bay got hit by a cyber attack. They had gotten hit by one a few years ago. They ended up paying the ransom and got their systems and data back working. But this time they decided not to pay the ransom. They're tired of dealing with these people, and they had lost a lot of data. A lot of it was locked down, but they got their security back up and running, so there is, I wouldn't really say a success story with these kind of things, but they didn't pay, and they got back up and running again. So that's a good thing to hear, because a lot of these times you end up like with the pipeline, they have to pay a bunch of money, lose a ton of money just from being down and not having their systems running. So yeah, that's something we have to be aware of. It's going to affect every industry that
Sounds
is
like
out
an
there.
inside job. They keep attacking the same trucking company.
Well, I think it sounds like they left something in there so they could do it again. Like, hey, appreciate the money, but we're going to have a round 2 here.
It's possible, yeah.
That's
it's definitely
horrible. Yeah.
possible.
I feel bad.
Apparently,
Cookies.
Bay and Bay spent a lot of money after that, and they have a huge cybersecurity company that they pay. But even with that, it's never perfect.
Yeah,
they'll always find a way.
Their password's probably pass 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh man, yeah. Always change your passwords and don't use the same ones. A little bit on the same topic, Port of LA is saying that they need to up their game. I was thinking, can you guys imagine if during this whole debacle that we had the last few months, if they would have had a cybersecurity breach and it would have totally shut down the port? It would have been an even bigger disaster. Imagine that.
Yeah, I'd like not to, because then all the shelves get empty. And that's not good.
Yeah. They didn't say exactly how they're going to do it. I don't think that would be a good idea for them to say what they were going to do, but they are going to be spending a lot of money and making a lot of new jobs, so that's good. Next topic. This was something I think everybody had seen, the box truck with the monkeys that crashed.
Danville.
Oh, Zach, I have the pictures up on the desktop.
Whoa.
Forgot to mention.
Oh, really? Oh.
Let me
Let's
rush
get some
over to
pictures
that.
there. So this was, Kumar, I think you had a little bit more information about it. They were trying to not miss their exit.
Yeah, what I read yesterday, what I remember is he was going onto an exit and then realized that wasn't the right exit.
Oh, okay.
So then he swerved back into traffic where he ran into a tow truck.
Nice.
This is just the beginning of many horror zombie movies kind of thing.
Yeah, it's actually called Outbreak when they used to have the monkey.
Sounds like typical driving in LA.
Yeah.
I had a teacher show us Outbreak.
Martell.
Yeah, Mr. Martell, thank you. Shout out to him.
He was fired.
I think they got. I think there was 4 monkeys that had escaped. 3 of them were caught pretty quickly, but a 4th one I think might have turned into a popsicle.
Okay, this looks like the
They got
Leprechaun video.
They got the other one.
Oh, they got all of them. Okay,
Yeah, all the monkeys.
Zach,
are accounted for.
can you share that
Oh, I can't share it
while I'm sharing? Okay, hold on. Let me stop.
I got 2
sharing.
monkeys running the computer right now.
Or maybe one between the two of them, however you want
Look
to
at
look
this
at it.
high quality photo.
Yeah, it looks like they were taking.
What's that, my MySpace photo?
That monkey looks high.
I'm just glad this happened in the middle of winter. Doesn't give the monkeys a good chance. But one of the weird thing is a woman reported cold-like symptoms after she had an interaction with one of those monkeys.
And
So,
pink eye.
That's
pink
Was
eye.
it
kind of
was it snow blowing a driveway for two solid days straight?
The monkey with snow.
Well, you know where they were going, right?
No.
Well, I think it was a part of the CDC.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
they're-
Yep.
This is
No.
literally a zombie movie.
I almost kind of wish that monkey would have just never been found again, and he ended up living in New York and living a good life.
Mojo
Some of my
Jojo.
wife's family lives in Danville, Pennsylvania, so that's great.
That's crazy.
A monkey named Dan.
And then last thing we got here, I'm sure you guys have heard about the Canada.
Oh, you mean northern Mexico?
Yes, they are having lots of protests. The truckers are up there about vaccine mandates. So they had raised $3.7 million on GoFundMe, but now they have frozen that. GoFundMe wants to know how they're going to spend the money before they release it to them. So that's kind of a real slap in the face to them. They raise all this money. Maybe they should have found a better group to do it through, but I doubt they expected
They'll
to
get
raise
the
that
money.
much.
That's usually how they do it. If you make like over $100,000, they have to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, hopefully they get their money figured out and it goes to a good cause.
Yeah, lots of TikTok videos from that.
All right, now I got the need for Sneed. Back to you, Christian.
Thank you very much. Well, let's move right on into Florida, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
You ready to start
Yeah.
reading over there?
Yeah.
cooled off over there?
I caught. No, it wasn't anything. He just I knew he was taking his truck in for service, but he texted me. I got the text that said it's going to be a couple of weeks. So I wanted to see what the deal was, but I guess there's some ball joint issue, brake issue. He's having them check out, and they're not sure it's going to be that long. They just said it could end up being that long if they get into it and there's stuff wrong that,
Fun times. Yeah,
Yeah.
fun times.
So, anyway.
What I'd like before you get into Florida, man, if you could go maybe the next week or two, and as you're walking through Florida, don't think about it from like a Floridian standpoint. Think it from like an Ohio or Virginia standpoint, and just try to recognize some really odd behavior around you. I feel like you kind of take Florida for granted when you're there with all the crazy things that happen around. I mean, maybe walk into Walmart at 9 p.m. on a random Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, like you could definitely people.
I was
watch
walking
at
around
Walmart
Jacksonville
and
one time.
find some interesting characters.
And I've never been harassed so many times in my life in that 10-minute walk.
In Jacksonville?
Yeah, there's some characters. And what's funny too is I watch all these crazy shows. My wife has those murder shows on at night and stuff like that. And all the time I hear, and then after he killed somebody, and then we caught him in Florida. Stop, man! Stop.
That's right.
They all go.
Yeah,
Probation.
yeah. So Florida man. Let's see, where were
At
we?
least
All right, Florida man. Martin Alvarez was arrested after losing his temper in a Waffle House over how his bacon should be cooked. Alvarez was shirtless and yelling racial slurs at the employees when police arrived. According to police, he screamed, "You better cook the effing bacon right." When police attempted to arrest Alvarez, he resisted and was threatened with a taser.
That sounds like every Waffle House across the country
Yeah,
after 1
pretty
a.m.
much.
But in
Yeah,
defense,
that's a Waffle House. So.
in defense of him,
Speed up the cooking process if you just change the bacon.
if I don't get my bacon right or like any of my food right, I'm pretty upset for like the whole day. So I kind of get it.
But you're going to Waffle House. You're not expecting 5-star.
Your bacon's coming one way. It doesn't matter how you order it.
I've never not had a 5-star meal.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Waffle House, for this segment,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, but have you ever been to Waffle House when you're not drunk?
Plenty of times.
Yes.
Yeah, when I'm hungover.
Right. Yeah, it's always great.
There
Waffle
are other
House or
phases of
Denny's.
life, guys. I know we're not there yet.
All
It's
right.
like a good Dr. Pepper, Joel.
Right, like last week, the guy that held up
Sponsor.
his fingers and robbed the napkins and he
Yeah.
got arrested
Got
for it.
arrested for napkins.
Man, that's rough there.
Yeah, stay away from Waffle Houses in Florida.
All right, the next one. 2 Florida women were arrested after throwing glitter at a man inside his apartment. An altercation between the man and these women broke out at 3 a.m. By the way, nothing good ever happens after about midnight. So that's your first
Coming
breath.
from the Waffle House.
These women broke out at 3 a.m. early Monday morning, which caused one of the women to throw glitter at the man while he was on his balcony. She then scaled the balcony and made her way into the man's home. Then she let her friend in the front door, and they began to unload more containers of glitter on the man before they made a getaway to their home, where they were apprehended. The car was found with lots of glitter inside.
You know, funny story.
Really suck.
We had some friends. I mean, glitter doesn't go away. We had some friends that got married here about 8 years ago, and we thought it'd be funny to like haze their car. Well, I don't know where the idea came up with, but somebody thought about putting glitter inside the vents.
Oh no.
And so we put it inside there, but we didn't tell them. And so it's a hot day. They get into the car in all of their gown and everything. Hey, everybody's cheering. They turn it on, and glitter just starts shooting out. And it's
Be in
great.
federal prison for that.
The funny thing is, we ended up talking like 3 years later. I went to Boston, saw him. We're sitting there, and he's like, "There's still glitter that comes out of these vents." And he's like, "I swear, when I sell this car," he's like, "It's we won't use
legend has it."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was a custodian at one point in time, and every time I saw glitter, I knew it was going to be a bad day. Never goes away.
So I was just looking. I just Googled a couple because I wanted to see, because I know there's crazy Florida man stories out there. And I wish I could show you. This is on my phone, but I wish I could show you. This is 60 times a Florida man did something unbelievable. I found this website. And number 4 was best use for a private plane. Florida man suspected of using a private plane to draw a giant on the radar. And on the radar, it has a screenshot of the radar.
Russ, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're still with us.
Every time we do Florida Man, it is just
what a derailed show this is going to be.
That's
Russ
all
is
right.
never going to be
One
sick
long
again.
air horn, huh?
I was scrolling down these, and I'm like,
yeah,
you got way too much money on your hands if you got a private plane and you're just drawing on the radar for
it
us.
was John Denver.
Cloud things.
I think Russell's just giving up at this point.
Kumar, are you writing that down so you can do it in the snow later tonight? What are you writing down over there?
Yeah.
Mike, there was a Navy pilot who had done the same thing, and he got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I bet.
Didn't they do that on the surface of Mars too, with the rover?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh man.
I'd be okay with giving grant money for something like that, to be honest. Very creative. All right, so we have market conditions. Russ, I didn't know if you had anything. Well, I know you had stuff prepared, but I wasn't sure what shape you were in to share anything at all, or anything that went on this week.
I do, but I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
I probably couldn't get all the way through it without sneezing or coughing or something. But so yeah, you guys can go on. I did want to say, and I mentioned to Mike earlier that that lane on the I-5 from SoCal up to Portland and Seattle is still good. We're still seeing good rates both ways. And then the Northeast, Mike will probably touch on that. The Northeast is, well, you too, Christian. The Northeast is really nice and hot.
Yeah, popping.
Yeah. So even, matter of fact, I was looking for Ray's driver, Michael, out of upstate New York, Syracuse area, to get him out west. And I told Ray, because they were trying to move him out west from Alabama, and I was looking to go to Texas, and then to live over there, it's just terrible rates. So I said, Ray, let's go a different direction. And we're sending him. We got Ray. What'd we get? 43 on 1,300 miles.
Yeah, 1,000 miles.
Going to Rome, New York, which is by Syracuse. And then I was seeing, when we booked that, I was seeing $8,000, and you could probably get more later in the week, but $8,000 on Friday going to Portland, Seattle area, probably get 85 out of that. And then you can limp your way down from there. It's $3 a mile. So it's a good way to get out west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my guy going up to Maine, and between now and Friday, there's almost 2,000 loads posted within 150 miles of this Biddeford, Maine.
Oh wow!
And
the north is
8,000 going to
right
Phoenix.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Over to Washington, $8,000. Yeah, so the Northeast is, and when you catch it earlier enough like this, you can still get a good rate going in. You know, because if the rates hold coming out, you're going to start to see it drop a little bit going in, I think.
Yeah, I was reading earlier that they're talking about the fluctuation and changes in capacity due to like it being not Christmas anymore and really imbalancing the scale of load and truck ratios. And they're saying like, you know, there's certain areas that are going to cool off, but they might not necessarily cool off because, you know, the areas are so imbalanced when people get there, they're still expecting the same rate, you know, or better, you know, because the rest of the market's picked up. So,
well, there's a couple factors, Christian, that keep sticking out to me is, you know, fuel prices aren't going down. I mean, they're up there, and that's a factor. And then also, I mean, I think you mentioned it, and everybody's starting to notice it. Tina just texted me. She's at the grocery store next to our office getting medicine for me right now. And I told her I need an antihistamine and a couple other things. She goes, they don't have any, they're out. And I noticed that last week when we were at Giant Eagle, the grocery store. I mean, there's a lot of food items, not all, you know, but there's certain things every aisle you go down that there's empty shelves or parts of them.
Yeah,
So
I've
that's
been
a
struggling to get Lunchables. I'll tell you what, if you see
That's
any,
crazy.
send
And I
them my
saw
way.
that. I saw that, Ian, at the grocery store. And I don't buy those, but I saw it. It's over.
Oh, yeah. They're empty.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier if you just don't eat.
Oh, I should have thought of that.
Yeah, what a great idea.
What about you guys out on the road? Are you guys noticing any shortages at the truck stops, if anything?
Yeah. You go to California, all these
Really?
truck stops they got empty shelves.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
That or when you get into Los Angeles or that area, they're still practicing their COVID stuff. So you have to walk up to if you want coffee or anything like that, you have to walk up and ask.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's funny though. You come here to Texas, and I mean, yeah, there's some stuff that's missing on the shelves, but for the most part, it's not like it is in the West Coast. We got a lot of stuff on the shelves, but you go to California, it's noticeably different.
Yeah.
I've noticed it's a lot of stuff that's already pre-made. I haven't noticed very many shortages of fresh food like vegetables or fruit. Maybe a little bit on the meat side, but not as much with veggies and fruit. Yeah, produce.
Well, and you think about from a like a POS system inside of a grocery store, you know, like Walmart, when you're scanning out items that need to be reordered, it takes a while to put them in the barrel and send it down the pipeline. Now meat's coming because they know it's, you know, you got a couple weeks, 16 days or whatever it is from kill to market. So that meat's coming the entire time. That pipeline's always full versus having, you know, kind of a min-max inventory on the items that are pre-made. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So Lunchables.
Prices,
right?
prices on
Lunchables,
meat.
breakfast sandwiches, hard to get.
Yeah. And I do cover a little bit of fuel. I cover it from like a month-to-month DAT perspective in the market stuff today, but I don't look at it from, you know, really comparative to rates or anything else. But yeah, fuel's continuing to rise too. So
I think the rates are holding pretty good for it being after Christmas. I mean, you see them trying to, obviously some of the markets, California, I think fell off, you know, unless you're going in one of those lanes, north and south or Colorado. But,
it's a lot better than it was last January. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think some of the markets just switched up a little bit, you know,
and I'm okay with that
now. Yeah. Just but the rates, I mean, you see the posted rates, it looks like trying to come down in some areas and trying to get that,
especially in the South where everybody wants to run. Guys ask me, where can I go to make some money? I say north. You got to go where people don't want to go.
Yeah,
right.
Go to Portland, Oregon.
You should still be averaging above that $3 mile mark for a van. Just talking van, you still should be doing above that and asking for that, you know, because it's out there. The freight's out there. So
and the same gross numbers. It is a waiting game.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, what do you have? As far as market? You got anything to pull up, or just talk about your?
No, I don't have anything to pull up. I was just going to talk about the market. Really, I was just going to touch on what we touched on, the Northeast being, by all accounts, really hot in my book. But the loads coming out of there, and I don't just mean like the Philly area. I mean like the, you know, Massachusetts, Connecticut, up that way. Yeah, you know, the upper Northeast, where there's less trucks but still a ton of loads. You know, that's You can
And they
get the
actually
money
know how
going
to
in
clear the
and
roads
coming
up
out.
there. You know, you come to
Yeah.
Virginia when it snows, you're stuck for a day. You go up there and it snows. Well, okay, give us a minute to plow it, salt it, and let's get moving again.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's
So you can
not-
get the money going in and coming out right now.
Yeah.
You know. And then the only other thing I really wanted to touch on and tell the guys, with it being tax season, man, hire an accountant. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. What you'll pay the accountant, they'll save you tenfold in paying in taxes. So
yep.
I've talked to a couple of my guys. My guys have asked me about accounting stuff and accountants, and yeah, they'll have you writing off stuff you didn't know you could write off, and it'll save you a bunch of money in the long run.
Yeah, they pay for themselves and then some. So why do it yourself and have a worse hassle and give more money away? So
yeah.
Do it wrong.
Well, if you want,
Yeah.
I do have a couple things on the market. If you want, and it might draw some other conversation while we're at it.
Yeah, sure. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. Tim, he did mention this too, and he brought up a good point when we were talking about the driver that went in the ditch last week with the trailer tire.
Yeah.
He said sometimes, and he's never heard anybody really mention this, but when in small towns like that, if he's going somewhere in the small towns and not sure of the truck route, he's called the local sheriff in the past, you know, for directions in the roads, how the roads are in little towns and stuff. And they've got them. And, you know, like he said, they'd probably rather be giving you directions than out there directing traffic if you're in a ditch or something.
I found past it, instead of calling the police department or sheriff's department, call the fire department.
Yeah,
they got big
They
in
know
the
how to
area.
get everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And they also
But
drive
don't
big
call
trucks.
911.
Yeah, they drive big trucks too sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the small town thing. If you're going where it's a small town, little roads, you know, and you're not sure, you know, or anywhere really, but for like where.
I may also suggest one thing too, though, that when you call the sheriff's department, police department, fire department, or whatever, please use the non-emergency number.
Yes.
They don't like it when you call 911
for directions.
Ask for directions.
Yeah.
Don't call 911 for directions.
Yeah.
On truck routes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They got my order wrong. My pizza.
Let me share this up here.
All right.
All right. Episode 41. Everybody see that? Everybody got optics?
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. So we'll start off with occupancy-based revenue. I've got a couple other slides to show. Pick 5 drivers. Didn't get all of the green light from everybody to talk about them. I didn't want to bring somebody's information up that I shouldn't. But we do have a majority of these are dry van. Actually, all of them are dry van this week. Different goals. You'll see some guys are higher and lower based on how they come out. If you look at driver 1 on the screen, it talks about not just their equipment, but then I put their state and then what their in and outs are. So how many weeks they're out for and then how many days they're in for. So for instance, this first driver is a drive-in out of Virginia, out for 3 weeks, takes 3 days, sometimes 4 off. In this particular case, coming back on duty, delivering off through the weekend, delivering on Monday into Illinois. After he makes, I guess it was a Tuesday drop, it's 895 miles, makes that drop on Tuesday. Wednesday, he's in Ohio. Thursday, West Virginia, then Goldsboro and Hagerstown. So he's off one day, running 86% occupancy, but he grossed $9,825. And a dry van, like you said, Mike, above the $3 mile mark. Came out of that Illinois area, which is starting to shake up a little bit. You know, it's been absolutely been able to slaughter people out of that Northeast Illinois area, and you still can, but it is starting to slide a little bit from what the indicator is showing, and really staying right within Maryland. I mean, the Mid-Atlantic right to the Midwest is where a lot of our guys are. You'll see the same thing with driver 2. He's out of Michigan. It's a dry van, out 5 weeks, takes 5 to 7 days off. And it's pretty easy because when he comes home, he'll have that time built up. So this way he can take an extra day or two. It shows that it was home out of Macungie, Pennsylvania. It's not right. It was just time off. Ended up delivering up into Macungie, Pennsylvania. And then from there went right back down to Dublin, Virginia with the delivery, loaded right back up with Macungie coming back, off to West Virginia, and then picked up another one off of Beckley, went back down to the Volvo plant and grabbed another one up to Macungie.
Wow,
so
those are some great
$11,700. I mean, that's a heck of a week in a dry van at $5 a mile.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and killed it.
Yep. And also once he made the delivery, it was some time off on Saturday to Sunday. So we did not count that day as far as an occupy, but even at 86% occupancy, still like 140 or 150% of his revenue base. The third driver here is a dry van out of Florida, out 4 weeks, sometimes 5, again, off 5-6 days, ran at 86%. This time, this was not an occupancy for home time. If you look over on Monday, it's an hours of service. So in our office, if there's an hours of service issue where we're just, we slept for 19 or 20 hours and we end up putting ourselves in a position, we do mark it. So this way we can look back and say, hey, if there's a reason this week is short, we might have put ourselves in a bad position. 8 weeks ago, Mike, we talked about, or maybe 9 weeks ago, we talked about, how important it is to be on time on Monday and how important it is to be on time on Friday. It did, from this chart, you really can't tell because they did $10,250 at $4 a mile. Again, Goldsboro, North Carolina, had hours of service violation, came through here. We had a discussion, picked up in Dublin later at Volvo, went to Macungie, came around and went back down to Rocky Mount, Virginia, and then Abingdon, Maryland, and South Carolina. So worked 6 days, $2,250 over the target. This is Quentin Brown. We've done him the last couple of weeks. He did an outstanding job. He was home. He runs out really 2 weeks and then takes 3 days off. Sometimes it changes up. He might stay out a little longer and cut his time in a little bit. But generally speaking, he ended up making his delivery into Ohio. That ended up being on Wednesday. And then North Carolina, back up to Macungie, sounds familiar, and then to Estelle, Georgia with a push. But because how he ran short on Thursday, he was able to push from Friday to Saturday with the delivery to get unloaded. $9,150, right underneath the $4 a mile mark. And then driver number 4 is a reefer out of Florida, 4 weeks out, 5 days off. Same thing, 86% occupancy. The last load going to Brandon, let's go Brandon, Florida. He was going home, so Saturday didn't count because he was empty, but he ran at 86% occupancy with 168%, running at $10,800 in a dry van for a target of $7,500. And running just over $4 a mile. So you'll see that there was an impressive amount of time that was on the road, and the time that wasn't on the road was tying into weekends. So when you are taking time off, Monday through Fridays is not the time to do it. Generally speaking, if you can tie your time off to get a reset like we spoke about 2 episodes ago with Bernard's freight from Massachusetts to Texas, try to tie your time in off on a weekend. Makes your pocketbook a lot heavier, and it makes your dispatch workload a lot lighter for whoever's inside the office. So here's the states that we delivered. Basically, I just put up a map and colored in what states the guys were delivering in, right? Macungie, Pennsylvania, Dublin, Greensboro, North Carolina, Pageland, South Carolina. And so this is the mid-Atlantic. And as Ian, you were talking about before, we are running some more northern mid-Atlantic and some Midwest. We touched in Florida, but that was really to go home. We don't live down there because of where rates are. Most of the year. There are a lot of opportunities here in the Northeast that other carriers took advantage of, and then also running out a little further Midwest. But this is the area we stay in, and that's where you cultivate good relationships and you stay inside of it. We do have other relationships with stretch the legs a little bit and some customer freight, but this is the market that we're in. And I know, Mike, you talked about a little more towards the Northeast, right? A little more towards Massachusetts, Connecticut, those areas as well.
Yeah, I've sent them a little further into the Northeast, and like I said, out of between now and Friday, in 150 miles of Biddeford, Maine, it's almost 2,000 loads posted. So
it is popping. Yeah, I think
they're all over there.
I think I saw one. It was like $8,000 in a dry van from Wisconsin over to the New York or Connecticut area, and I'm thinking, well, if I picked that up on a Friday for a Monday, that's a heck of a good start. You get the whole week on a weekend. So continue to push out there. We don't know when the market's going to change, but we want to make sure if you guys are out participating with it, this is what it's looked like month over month by DAT for national van rates. You see that it was in March of last year was the last time that it significantly went over the shipper line. So there's 2 lines here. The orange line is what the spot market rate is, which is broker to carrier, and the blue line is what the shipper to carrier is. And as you can see, the trend in December, so we saw that there were some capacity issues, obviously, with holidays, end of year deliveries, those kind of things. And then it's really continued to take off and show that same trend in January for dry van. If you like the dry van trend, well, then you're definitely going to like the next trend. And I don't know why it did that. Let me see. It should show should show the reefer rate here. Give me 1 second. And it's not. Okay, there's the reefer rate, and which is behind it. So I'll have to pull that up later, but I can pull it up later on. But the disparity between January between reefer and the shipper rates are even larger. So you're looking at like 360 miles opposed to 318. So not only is the cent per mile higher, but the difference between the shippers rates and the spot market. So if you're in a reefer and you don't feel like you're making money, then just pick a bigger number when you ask right now. So here's the diesel rates. I know, Russ, you touched on this a little bit earlier as well. This is just what this shows is the fluctuation, diesel prices as of last Monday. And these are the rates, and it's an average, national average that goes through. Fuel it went down a little bit, and now it started to creep up a little bit in some areas. If you guys have seen with the fuel surcharge each week, thankfully we do have the fuel surcharge. I'm not sure where you guys are getting fuel. If you're doing it in the Northeast, you're going to pay a little more, but the rates are more than going to cover that right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my guy down there that's running those. He's basically just running Mississippi to Texas that, $10,000. And like I told him, I said, you're not only is that a good week for a van, but you're running in an area where it's cheapest for fuel right now.
Right.
In the whole country. So you're paying less than the national average, and you're still getting the 100% fuel surcharge. So
and better weather too. He's out of the weather too, Mike.
Yeah. And you're out, and you're right. And when you're out of the weather, you're also out of the liability range, right? Your tractor usually stays, shiny side. And here's the reefer rates, just to share real quick. Reefer stayed above what the shippers are trying to do. So here's the shipper selling it to the carriers on a more contractual basis. And then as that can't get covered, it falls into the spot market, right? Which is our tender rejections. And you'll say, okay, their carrier's still carrying their freight, because there's a lot of, national carriers that still continue to have drop trailers. I had a conversation with a guy today, said, I want to do drop trailer reefer work. Man, our customer had extreme long hold times. Even when we dropped trailers, they weren't ready. And if you're looking $2,500 a day right now, I'm not waiting on that trailer. We had a customer call us up today in Roanoke and say, hey, we need you back in the game over here. I said, well, I don't know where you guys have been since you changed some of your shipping guys, but we pulled our drop trailers from you, and they're a lot more expensive today than when we last got together. And he said, send over rates. We're not trying to offend anybody with our rates, but they gave us, we have a load, what's it, $3,800 from Roanoke to Chicago. And, that's where you want to be. So that wasn't the rate that we used to have in place, but it's the rate that we have now.
Mm-hmm. And things are going to continue to change.
Yeah. Yes.
I wondered, there was one thing, Christian, that I remembered. I don't have my notes in front of me, but earlier this week, one of our drivers, Joel, it's Joel's driver. Joel, you'll remember this. He's a good guy. He primarily always books himself. He does a great job with it.
Yeah.
He booked a load, and Tina brought it to my attention right away. As I've told you before, she reads everything on every Raycon, and he's in a dry van. He booked a load and it said protect from freeze. And so immediately Tina was emailing. She told me, and she was emailing the broker on it. And when the broker got back, he was like, yeah, protect from freeze, just idle the truck. Well, this was in Massachusetts somewhere, and it was like close to 7 degrees that night.
That's not going to work.
And he had to hold, it was a short run, like 400 miles, but he had to hold it overnight. And it was going to be, well below freezing overnight. And I understand if it's a beverage, it was a Pepsi beverage. I do know there, and Jim, you might remember this too. Some of you guys have been driving a long time. That there was a thing where they tell you just idle the truck, the movement will.
Yeah, the vibrations keep it. Spared. Yep.
And basically that's what the broker was telling us. And well, I chimed in on the email and I said, well, listen, can you give us some documentation that we won't be held accountable if it does freeze, because I don't want to claim. And they wouldn't. They said, no, we can't. You just have to idle the truck and protect from freeze. And so I told them to take us off the load. I'm sorry, we can't do it because I'm not going to risk that with those temperatures. And my point is, the driver, Joel ended up, me and Joel were talking about it and we were calling him. He called me back, but he had no idea that it was protect from freeze. And my point is, and I've said this, and I'm going to reiterate it, read everything on your Raycon, because if Tina hadn't caught it, I wouldn't have caught it. I didn't read his Raycon. I didn't see his Raycon. And he booked it, so he should have read that whole Raycon, because at the end of the day, if it does freeze and there's a claim, you're not getting paid. Nobody's getting paid, You're buying. So I thought that was one of
will idling really vibrate it enough? That just
depends on the temperature.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't really buy it either, Mike. Some people say it will work to a certain temperature, but
that's right.
If you guys know anything about flash freezing, vibrations cause ice to freeze, for water to freeze at certain temps. So
and I know that's kind of an old school thing where, I mean, I've done it before, but I think it was always when the temperature was around like 34 degrees, where you're close to freezing, but you're not below.
7.
But we were at during the day, I think it was like 18. I looked at the temperature in this whole lane, but it was like 7 degrees at night. I mean, there's no way we're going to take that chance.
With non-alcoholic drinks, I wouldn't go below 15 degrees.
Yeah.
I don't. The vibrations of the trucks will do that. Now, with an alcoholic type of a drink, we'll say like wine or something, you can go down to 5, 0. And you'll still be safe. But not with a non-alcoholic drink. You can't go that low.
Especially with it being carbonated.
Yeah, and I felt like
you also have to understand another thing too. That stuff's put in your truck. It's warm, and there is heat in your truck. So there's a time frame involved too. Before it actually gets cold, but there's a possibility the ones on the outside walls, they're going to freeze, vibration or not.
Yeah,
it was 5-10 degrees.
He was going to hold the load for probably 26, 27 hours, so through the night.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
And it wasn't worth. I think it was a good load, $4 a mile on a short load. But let's be realistic. You're talking about 400 miles for $1,600. Is a $1,600 one-day run worth a full load claim? No.
Not when you go grab another $1,600 load without it.
Yeah. So and
stay moving.
And that's exactly my point. Is just make sure you read every line on the Raycons. We make sure that you have them. And like I said, this guy books himself, and he normally does. He does a really good job. He's thorough, but that one slid by him. It's when I told him, he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll get something else." So, but it was funny how the broker was like, "Yeah," they were just being real nonchalant about it and saying, just protect from freeze idle truck. It's okay.
Because they don't care. Once it's on your truck, they move. They don't care. They move the load.
Yeah,
they're looking to do. Most anyway.
Everyone situation's different, but yeah.
And by the way, yay Tina moment. Like, it's every week or two we hear about her highlighting and rescuing someone from a contract read. So if you don't have a Tina, let's go breed one somewhere.
You know what's funny? You guys remember? Probably it was months ago when I had that situation where I had about 70 emails going back and forth with a broker that they gave us a revised Raycon, and our truck went back to the shipper. It was all on them. It wasn't anything our driver did or we did. I kept my cool. We had everything documented. Well, so we got the revised Raycon on that, and so they still haven't paid. And so Tina's been working with Michelle McPherson up at Meadowlark, and I guess Michelle had some, conference calls with them today, and Tina was telling me today, she's like, we had everything documented. Michelle complimented her on how easy it was because everything was just dialed in. It's so important. And I'm not blowing her horn. I mean, I did most of that documentation. And
Austin, he was involved too, wasn't he? He did the pass down, right? Yep.
And I think Ian was involved too. Yeah. Ian was in those emails, but it's so important to email, even if you have a phone call with somebody, put it in an email and document it. It's time stamped. And if we had not done that on every piece of communication we had with them, even when we talked to them on the phone, we went right to email and described exactly what we talked about, and they would respond. And that's what saved us. So yeah, it took a while to get them to pay, but they have no choice now. And
don't think you're going to pull your call on a recorded line that, because like Ring Central holds it for 6 months. 8x8 holds it for 90 days. I had one of my only claim. My first claim was with Benjamin's Rice, and it was TQL, and they were in the right. I didn't document it. I remembered it. It was Christmas Eve, and we bought. I mean, it was thousands of pounds of rice. It was not good, and but it was my issue. I was like, oh, I'll pull the call later, and it was almost 12 months to the day that they call. They said, hey, look, here's what we got going on, and we're going to cross charge your other invoices for it because they paid that invoice. And so I was like, oh, we got paid, we're good. Then it came back later, and in their contract it reads that they can bill out of other invoices. So. So make sure if you do record a call that you save it somewhere on your hard drive if you're going to use it, or better yet, do what Russ did, something that never disappears, put it in an email.
Mm-hmm.
If you need Benjamin's Rice, let me know. I probably still have some out back somewhere. So, Joel, who actually lost? We know that we have someone that continues to perfect the system here, and I think you're getting paid to let him win every week, but that's a different discussion for a different day. Who actually won or lost in the sporting world to know who the questions with Kumar is going to pay out?
You mean who lost the wild card weekend?
Yeah, wild card weekend.
He means the pick'em, Joel.
Yeah,
who won the pick'em?
The pick'em, which is the wild.
Yeah, the pick'em.
Yeah,
Wild card weekend.
last wild card. Yep.
The loser?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Was the winner was Burke, and the loser was Kumar.
So Kumar's battling for his own money again.
Yeah.
Well, weren't we going to do something different with Kumar? Didn't we mention something before Christmas or something with the questions with Kumar? Because all the truckers versus Kumar was kind of unfair.
Well, so why don't we let them pick one?
I thought we were going to do. I thought, yeah. Or didn't we mention somebody from Christian's office battling Kumar?
Kumar speaking on his own behalf.
Yeah, we talked about that. Maybe something's cool is we can do questions with Kumar where it's Kumar versus one driver, but on one of the questions they can phone a friend, just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So then they can ask somebody else that's on there.
Pick somebody on the sidewalk. Excuse me.
Jim's
so they can ask one of the other drivers on the show.
Exactly. Sound good?
I'm good with that. So why don't you just go with the questions this week? Why don't we try this? Why don't we go first question, Jim Mackey. Second question is Ray. He's up. And third is Nate, and fourth is Kevin. And then if any of you guys want to phone a friend, you just say, pick one of the other guys on the show. Yeah. One of the other drivers.
But if you're the first guy and you phone a friend, you now lost that, and nobody else can phone a friend. You can only phone a friend once. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great because Kevin's probably going to know Ray's answer, and Ray's going to know Jim's, and Kumar's going to keep his money. So.
Okay.
Well,
so we'll go Kevin first. Kevin first, right? I'm sorry. Jim Mackey will go first, then Ray, then Kevin, and then Nate.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. I like this.
Yeah. Good job. Thanks, Russ.
All right. Well, these are kind of redundant here at episode 41, trying to come up with questions. But question 1. Always perform the steps of a pre-trip inspection in the same order each time because A, you will be less likely to forget something. B, you will have more time to complete the inspection. C, it is required by law. Or D, it's more convenient. Always perform the steps of a pre-trip inspection in the same order each time because...
I got to say A, it helps you remember.
He says A, you will be less likely to forget something. What do you guys say?
Jim is up, right?
Jim, yep.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with it.
So that means Coom
These
wins.
questions were all that.
Yeah, you might want to just pick a different answer just in case, because if he does get it and you get it, then he still gets the W, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So
I got that one.
So survey said, hey, yes, you will be less likely to forget something. That's right.
Yeah, I was a custodian, so we had to do the same thing every single day,
So,
and that's
worked in
how I
your
figured
favor.
out how to do it.
Nice.
All right. Well, question 2. If convicted of a traffic violation, you must inform your employer A, within 3 hours, B, within a day, C, within a week, or D, within 30 days. If convicted.
If convicted?
Of a traffic violation. If you get a ticket, you must inform your employer A, within 3 hours, B, within a day, a week, or 30 days.
Within a day.
Kumar says within a day.
Who's up?
Hey,
Ray?
And just so before you answer, Ray, so if the driver's loose, since you're hosting this week, Christian, you got to pay, right?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, this is, and don't worry, Ian's keeping track. So yes, absolutely. Yep.
You got a week.
If convicted of a traffic violation, you must inform your employer within 30 days.
Oh,
30
so you were
days.
both
Yep.
wrong. So okay.
So
it's 30 days.
So I had 29 more days to
Darn it.
report
Well, we both got it
this
wrong.
incident.
Yeah. So what if it happens
Still
February
up one.
1st?
You gotta wait for a
Still
leap
up
year.
one.
Now, if it's a DOT reportable accident and there's a tow or an injury, isn't that a drug screen within 3 hours? Is that right?
I
A
think
drug
it
screen
is.
in 3 hours.
3 hours? Is that right? I'm trying. I'm not in safety.
They give you a cup before they give you a medic.
I believe that's right, Christian.
Yeah, because it's
Can
pretty
you repeat it
immediate.
before we call the ambulance?
I think this was just pertaining to
Tickets.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I just it
Yeah.
kind of threw me off. I was thinking that was the right answer
Yeah,
for some
no, if
reason.
you get in a major accident, they probably want to know before a month. Okay, question 3. Which really doesn't
Kumar, what are
pertain
you
to
writing
metal
down,
arc.
bud?
A Class 1 hazmat material is
Timestamps.
A, an explosive, B, a liquid, C, a corrosive, or D, a gas. A Class 1 hazmat material.
Can you repeat the answers again?
Sure. Is it A, an explosive, B, a liquid, C, a corrosive, or D, a gas?
Explosive.
There we go.
Just a guess?
Yeah.
Just a guess. Anybody else know?
This would be
But I
Kevin.
know.
It would be
Kevin.
Kevin's turn.
Evan?
And what were the answers again?
A hazmat material is A, an explosive, a Class 1 hazmat, an explosive, a liquid, a corrosive, or a gas.
I'm just gonna change the answer because that was the answer I would have gave, but I'm gonna say C, just so it's different.
Is that corrosive?
He's going to say
Yeah.
corrosive. Anybody else want to take a stab?
It doesn't sound like anybody got it. with That kind of answer.
It's probably why we don't haul hazmat, but it is an explosive.
Yeah.
Oh, Coom with the
Gosh,
number.
Kumar.
It's an explosive week for me.
Have you ever taken
on
that written
questions.
test? It was explosive.
My wallet exploded and it just went in St. Christopher's Fund.
You're the one that
Sometimes
said to take a
scoops
different
explode
answer
before
than he
did
did.
this.
All right, question 4. Moving along. If a 5-foot long item is placed on a flatbed trailer, it must be secured by at least A, 1 tie down, B, 2 tie downs, C, 3 tie downs, or D, none necessary. A
How much does
5-foot
it weigh?
long item, Coon, must be
How much does it
placed on a
weigh?
flatbed.
What was that last
Is it
answer?
None necessary.
I'm going to go with 2.
He's going to go with 2 tie downs.
Now, why would you say that?
I'm not changing my answer now.
All right,
makes
so
sense.
it
I
doesn't
would
sound
put
like
2.
anybody else knows.
No, we have
Where's our
Nate.
flat-
Nate, that's his
Nate.
name.
Yeah.
Yep, that's me. So I have a question which
Sure.
you didn't answer, or
Specify.
you didn't have this in the question or specified how much it weighs.
It didn't say.
47,000 pounds.
5 feet.
Yes.
It's a
Well, I
five-
think
it's
where
a
Nate's
five
going with
Mercury.
this,
It's an atomic
I-
bomb.
I think you should
I
get
think
3
we're-
points.
Nate, tell me if I'm wrong. I think you're going where you're going with this and where Mike was going, because I think we've all done a little flatbed. If you got a 5-foot coil on there, it's going to weigh 40,000 pounds. You got to have a whole bunch of pieces of securement. I don't know how many, but it's based on how much it weighs. But if you got a 5-foot beam, yeah, that's a different story.
I think
So
that's what
I
we're
guess
going for.
we're going to assume it's like a 5-foot beam or something.
Yeah, piece of steel.
Okay,
How many- how many tie
5 foot
downs do
piece
you
of
need?
steel, I would put 2 tie downs.
Okay. The correct answer is B, 2 tie downs. That's
I think the
Yeah.
basic
a
rule of
there's a
thumb on
minimum
that
of
is
2, no matter what the item is. There's
Planes coming in here.
1 tie down every 10 feet is the general
or
rule.
10,000 pounds.
Or $10,000. 10,000
2
pounds.
for the first 10,000 and 1 for every 10,000 or 10 foot over that.
All right, so Kumar, kicking butt today.
I am.
All right, finally, question 5. What Smokey and the Bandit character had a career in the NFL with the Steelers and the Rams? Was it A, Sheriff Buford T. Justice, played by Jackie Gleason? Was it the Bandit, played by Burt Reynolds? Was it Junior, played by Michael Henry? Or was it Snowman, played by Jerry Reed?
Wasn't there a bear in that TV show, or am I?
This was the movie.
Oh.
Wow.
Smokey the
There was
Bear.
Oh, that's
there
what
was a
I'm
dog.
thinking
I know what questions we're asking next time I gamble with them.
He's gambling with it.
What was that? Jerry Reed?
Jerry Reed was the truck driving, went by the handle Snowman.
Yeah.
Did he play for the Rams and Steelers, you think?
I think so. I mean, it sounds like a football name.
What in the?
It
Well,
really
it definitely wasn't Burt Reynolds, so we can get that one out of here.
Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
I think you won anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3-1.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Wait, hold on,
the
hold
answer
on.
is-
Hold on. Wait. Trevor? Trevor, want to answer?
Russ?
We went through them. Russ, let's go. It's your turn, Bubba. Step up.
Russ, who played in the NFL? Was it
Okay, hold
Sheriff?
on. Read
Was
the
it-
question again.
Yeah, what Smokey and the Bandit character had a career in the NFL with the Steelers and the Rams?
Don't give him the names. He'll know.
Was it the Sheriff, Buford T. Justice? Was it his son Junior? Was it the Bandit? Or was it Snowman, played by Jerry Reed?
What did Kumar say?
Snowman.
I'm gonna say it was Buford T. Justice.
Buford T. Justice played for the Rams and Steelers. All right. Air horn. All right, so the winner is Junior. Daddy, your hat flew off. That guy that held his hat played for the Rams and the Steelers back in 59 through 64.
Wait, what was his name?
Mike Henry passed away last year at the age of 84. He was in several movies, including Longest Yard. And, yeah. Somebody else want to come up with some trivia next
I was
week?
gonna say that next, Joel. I was thinking Junior, but I was off.
Yeah, that guy was actually a tough guy. He acted like a buffoon, but he wasn't. All right, so there you have it. Questions with Kumar.
I
Congratulations.
won, right?
Oh, yeah. You won.
You did
Yeah,
better
you
this
won
week.
all right.
I just want to hear it.
Well, yes, sir. You have won the grand prize of taking someone else's money out of their wallet.
Prize of coming to work tomorrow.
Thanks for your donation.
Yeah, it wasn't donated; it was taken. I didn't want to give it, to be honest with you. I
And
just
Kumar,
lost time.
don't forget to write it down.
If anybody has
Christian,
any questions,
got it.
feel
Christian
free to
pays
send your
Christian
questions
pays
in.
the 50 on the
read
bet.
them on
Christian
the
paid
50.
2 weeks ago.
And then again tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm going to ban myself from these episodes if this keeps going this way.
Yeah, I'm busy.
That's it. It's going to stop coming out of my pocket. I'm going to have to put a business check in here somewhere. Well, have anybody got anything else for tonight?
No.
No.
I think we're good.
No.
Yeah, I'd love Russ to get better. That's it. Make sure he gets his radio voice back.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I got some zinc, vitamin C gummies, antihistamine. I'm taking all that tonight.
Voice for silent movies.
Ivermectin.
His face for radio is doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we do want to make sure we thank our sponsors, as always, Truckworks Kenworth out of Dothan, Alabama, Over the Road Apparel, work clothes for the modern day working man. They are built for the road, and they are comfortable, lazy, lounge around in as well. We have Prime Wellness and Performance in San Antonio, Texas, and Al's Quality Meat Market, excuse me, in Barberton, Ohio, and the Gator Drive-Thru in Portage Lakes, Ohio. And remember, guys, don't forget about us online. You can like, share, subscribe to all of the following places. It's Talking Trucking with no G's.
And not talking dirty.
Never talking dirty.
That's the
No,
after.
unless you want an air horn.
Got a little
And
dirty today, but we got back on track.
we cleaned it up a little bit. Thanks, Mike, for bringing us down to Florida levels. And remember, everybody,
Florida standards.
everybody remember to drive safe and go Jets, go Mets, and go Yankees.
Yes, everybody.